It's about that time of day again here, folks. Welcome back to your nightly newsletter, boys and girls. Joseph James here. Wednesday evening, April 29th, 2015. Almost finished up with the month of April. Before we finish up, though, tonight's newsletter. Crude oil is bullish going into Thursday's session. But we expect sellers to have their way, taking price lower in the short term before we get another shot at buying the lows. Got a brand new bull channel on crude. We're keeping our eye out. Crude traders, hold on for more. Gold, the yellow metal, bearish coming out of FOMC news this afternoon. We see lots of selling opportunities on gold right now. We're watching a bearish channel and looking at the channel highs on our way down to that big round number of 1,200 in tomorrow's session. And a new addition to our nightly newsletter this evening, the euro. The euro currency futures, not to be confused with the euro currency pair. The euro futures, they're bullish this evening, coming off the lows of a bull channel. We're expecting a measured move as we retest the highs on the euro going into Thursday's session. Before we begin, and as you can see, we have a great newsletter in store for you guys. Before we begin, I want to remind you, everything I'm covering tonight, we teach to all of our students here at schooloftrade.com as a member of our beginner, intermediate, and advanced courses. Also, I want to make sure you guys are watching this video on our trading blog here at Sideways Markets. There are 3 reasons why you should be watching this video on our trading blog this evening. The first reason is, if I can get this to correct here, there we go. First reason here, you can download all of my charts I'm using tonight. All the charts I'm using here in tonight's video, you can download all those charts by following that link right below the video. Also, we have a free pass for you guys and gals to come out in the $10 live trade room. If you're not a member of School of Trade, I'd love to give you a free pass to come out in the $10 live trade room, upper left-hand corner. And how about our mailing list? Every evening, right around 8 o'clock Eastern Time, I send out our newsletter with all the strategies for the following day. I would like to send you an email every evening right before 8 p.m. All I need is your name and your email address right where it says, right above my ugly mug. Now, if you grab the free pass or if you register for the newsletter mailing list, make sure you check your email inbox, outbox, spam boxes, whatever boxes you've got, because I'm going to send you a verification email. So make sure you check your inbox for the verification email. Alrighty? Deal? Adding the euro here this evening to our newsletter as we wrap up the last few ounces of the month of April. How about that euro? Euro is bullish this evening, coming off the lows of this bull channel. We expect to see prices to move up to the midline and then possibly up to channel highs and a measured move target. So a couple things we're seeing on this chart here this evening, and we will be using the euro as a consistent add-on to our newsletter. So you'll see the euro added on to this from this point forward. We have a bull channel. Started out as a spiking channel, as you can see, but that turned into a bull channel. Get the bull channel here, as you can see, very, very easy to see the channel. And we have a midline. The midline oftentimes is one of the keys to trading inside of these channels. You know me, I like trading price action with channels. So, of course, we've got the channel, we have the midline, and we would expect with this A, B, C, D, right, kind of looking at this range here, that's our medium-term outlook, right, up to those highs of the channel. Now, with that said, how we get there? Well, that is to be discovered. One scenario is we try to go lower. If we try to go lower, we always play this game in our trade room, right? What if price goes up? What if price goes down? What if price goes sideways? If price goes lower, we definitely want to be aware there are going to be some bear traps down here because, again, the trend is clearly bullish. In fact, if you zoom all the way out here, if you really, really zoom out, and I attach this chart for you guys as well below the video. If you really zoom out here, you'll notice there's a much larger channel in play here. So we may try to move down to those lows here, but again, you've got to stay focused on the buy side. So if we move lower, resist the temptation here to be a seller right now on this euro, because you're going to see those bear traps. It may be once, it may be twice, but the reality is, though, is that be very careful with those bear traps below the 93 level right below that channel low. We want to stick to the upside right now. If price goes lower, I'm waiting for the sellers to try and fail, and that's going to give me the trigger that I need to get into the long side. If we go sideways here, if we end up going sideways, I'd be looking for the same scenario, bear traps, right? So wait for the price to sideways range out, wait for the sellers, right, to grow some courage, try to make a run for it, and if and when they fail, that is a beautiful opportunity for a bear trap. Now, what if price goes higher? If price goes higher, you can definitely expect to see most likely a measured move up to retest that high around the 1190 level here on the euro, possibly a little bit higher. What I'm thinking is we'll probably run right into that midline as well as that swing high up here, depending on when and where we get there, right? So I would imagine, somewhere where that midline and where that swing high, where they kind of collide together. Tough to tell you exactly where that will be tomorrow because it all depends on when we get up there. But I would definitely be looking for our measured move going higher to retest that 1190. The ultimate goal for the euro buyers will be getting up to the top of the channel. Remember, markets like to go from low to high to high to low to low to high to high to low. So buyers, you definitely want to be looking for those buying opportunities right now. And then we have, again, kind of in the longer term, really it's just the medium term in the big picture, but in the longer term here for day traders, we're eyeing that 1263 area for a measured move all the way up. So taking a look at the euro here, and again, you will see this euro added into our daily rotation here with our nightly newsletter. Definitely bullish. If we go lower, be aware of bear traps. If we go sideways, still looking for those bear traps. And of course, if we push higher, you're buying those dips, buying the pullbacks, using those continuation patterns that we teach you guys and gals here at schooloftrade.com. We'll be trading this bad boy tomorrow morning in our trade room. You're not alone out there. Come in and trade with us tomorrow. Next up here, we go from the euro to the yellow metal, the gold futures. Gold is bearish this evening. Pretty much got everything we expected out of the gold market. It was a sloppy one, as again we had talked about last night on our newsletter. FOMC day today. It's one of the nastiest days they don't happen every month, but 8 times a year, right? We get the FOMC. So 8 times a year, they are extremely nasty for crude oil. I'm sorry, for gold. Now we got the buy off the channel here, and we eventually collapsed back down to 1200. Now you're seeing in tonight's newsletter, now you're seeing a very dramatic shift in direction. Now we have this bear channel here, and you'll notice once again we get that rotation. We go from the high down to the low, up to the high, down to the low. We're expecting it to try to retest these highs. So we look at what the notes in the top of the chart here. We're definitely bearish, coming up off the lows of the bear channel. We have this little micro channel here. You'll notice in green here, this little micro channel. It's really tough to see. It's a really small channel, right? Little micro channel, and we've broken. So if we're going to make a run for this sucker, it's going to be most likely an ABCD, a measured move up to that high. And then look what we find across the way here. We find this trend line running right over the top. Way too convenient not to be effective. We get there, and then that should give us the ammunition here, right, to bring it right back down. So I really like the way this bear channel is lining up. We're definitely bearish right now, lower lows and lower highs. And again, we're expecting to see a retest of that high. Look for a measured move. And don't forget, the measured move, it may put us a little bit above that channel. That's fine too. I really don't care where in this area we get up here, but I definitely will be looking for a price once it gets up there to return back down. And we get some great targets waiting for us here, 1200 being one of them, right? Very, very easy to see. So we do expect, and we'll look forward to gold going back up to its highs and giving us a shot right back down at those lows. And again, I don't really mind where we go up here. If we do try to make a run for it, I'll definitely be waiting for those buyers to slip and fall. I am definitely a bear here until proven otherwise on the gold right now. Again, come out and join us tomorrow. We'll be trading that stuff in real time in our trade room. How about the black gold, the Texas tea, the crude oil futures? Boy, that crude sure took a change in direction. We had inventories today. We had FOMC today. We knew it was going to be a variable. We knew it would be a definite question mark as far as how this market would react to those news reports. Last night's newsletter, we had a great sell off that high, but it didn't quite make it. Remember this bear channel, right? We didn't quite make it all the way down to that low. We got interrupted by that news report this morning, and then whoop, pretty much what happened today was the inventory report came in with a smaller build in inventories as they were expecting. And these days, these crude traders are looking for any excuse here to be a buyer right now, and you can definitely tell, right, it jumped up pretty good. Now, big pops usually equal big drops, but we're going to make the chart prove to us, right, what we should be expecting here today. So first of all, taking a look at our notes in the upper left-hand corner this evening, crude oil is bullish this evening, coming off of the range expansion, right? There's that range expansion. Remember, we had this trading range we've been keeping an eye on for the past, feels like forever, but it's only been about 10 days. And then, of course, you can see we had support below, we had resistance above. Remember, this was the benefit of last night grabbing a few more levels of resistance overhead. We had no doubt in our mind, we knew where this price was going to end up. It was just up to us then to keep buying those dips on the way up to that range expansion, right? Once we saw this thing take off here, it was relatively easy to project where it was going from there, right? We had this level at 59.25 was on last night's newsletter as well. So no surprises there, okay? We just had to kind of wait for that news to come out and then follow the reaction to that news today. Now, up around the range expansion resistance, as well as this new bull channel high, right? Get a new bull channel here in the chart now. Higher highs, higher lows, that definitely confirms it. And you can see this cute little midline here, right up the middle of this thing here. Now remember, midlines don't always have to be right at the middle, right? Sometimes it'll be a little bit above the middle, below the middle, right? You get the point. So the term midline is loosely described as a midline, right? It's somewhere in basically where you get the most number of tests, right? And you can see here, we're sitting right on the top of that midline right now. So we're definitely sitting at some relatively moderate support here at this time. And in this bullish channel, we're expecting what should happen is we should be able to see a retest of the low of this bullish channel. So sellers, you've got some time here, sellers, to be looking for those selling opportunities down to that bull channel. But don't get too greedy down there, because that's where the buyers are going to be coming right back in again, and we'll be looking for this to rotate back higher. So from the low up to the high, down to that low, right? And then rotating back up to those highs again. So we have a short-term channel coming off the high. We broke that short-term channel. The sellers have revisited those lows. That tells us these sellers are for real right now, right? They're not just some fluff. It's not just a profit-taking pullback here. So we will expect to see, and again, I usually look for those ABCDs, right? ABCD, a measured move. It'll put us somewhere down around this 58 area, right? Around, again, depending on where and when we get there, it'll be around the low of this bull channel. Okay, then you're going to see those buyers stepping in here, trying to buy at a bargain price and get this price heading up, possibly up to that $60 a barrel tomorrow. We shall see. All right, no need to speculate too much on that right now. So expect the sellers to have a small opportunity here to get short here overnight, early tomorrow morning, before we see those buyers down around. Again, I would expect a measured move into the low of that channel. It may end up being, boy, wouldn't it be nice if it ended up being right at the top of that range, right? I mean, it'd be perfect if we could line this thing up together with the low of that channel, right? Low of that channel, top of the trading range, right? That would make for some excellent support, and that would definitely be a great spot to be looking for those buying opportunities. The only variable we have right now, really there are two variables right now. If we do just take off to the upside, remember our good friends in Asia and Australia, they unfortunately missed the FOMC announcement today. So tomorrow morning, they will be coming in and reacting to that news, right? That's one of the variables we have to remember on big news days like this is that, 1/3 of the world hasn't even seen what we saw already. So we may see a push higher here overnight. If we do see a push higher here overnight, just be aware you are buying up near those highs. So it's an aggressive with trend trade. And I would definitely be looking for another measured move here if this thing does take off to the upside. And keep an eye on the high of that channel and keep an eye on that next range expansion resistance, which is about 60.5 up top there. So if we do just take off to the upside, which again is a possibility this evening because the fact that a lot of the world hasn't even seen that report yet, right? So that may be in the cards here. Another scenario would be if we fail to go higher at this channel low, right? Don't be surprised if we run back down to that trading range. So really, the bull channel tells me err on the side of being a buyer right now. If it takes off to the upside, it's relatively aggressive, but make sure you guys keep in mind the top of that channel, and I would definitely be looking for a measured move as a good place to expect that price to run to in the short term, possibly all the way up to that range expansion tomorrow if we get another one of these little runaway markets on Thursday. The other scenario is if we end up back down around this channel low, if we don't see those buyers stepping in here, right? And I'm talking it needs to be a significant breakdown, right? Not some of these bear traps, because you're going to see some seller traps down here before it goes higher. So we're watching to see if it makes it down. It will probably end up going to that 56, 55. I don't think we have 55.21 in the cards for tomorrow because just a little bit too bullish in today's session. So bulls on the crude, bulls on the euro, and bears on the gold. What's in store for tomorrow? We're going to be opening up our trade room tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. I want to invite you guys out to come join me here as a new student here at schooloftrade.com. Don't forget, you can download all those charts. You can grab your free pass, come out and see me tomorrow in the trade room as a guest. And, of course, you can register for the nightly newsletter mailing list. Also, one more thing before I let you guys go. Don't forget, we get one of the best free trials in the business here at schooloftrade.com. Grab a free trial here of our advanced membership. All I need is you to click that big button on our homepage. And don't forget, guys, we always have someone standing by 24/7, 365 to give you guys a hand with anything you may need. Hope you guys are enjoying this beautiful spring weather out there. Hope we're having a great week so far. We got one more newsletter left this week. Wrapping up one more day left in the month of April. End of the month coming around the corner. Always good for some extra volatility. Human beings do crazy things at the end of their deadlines, and we know tomorrow is one of those deadlines. Guys and gals, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, contact us for more information. Drop me a line below the video. Send me an email at jj@schooloftrade. I always love hearing your feedback, and don't forget to share this with a friend. Same time, same place tomorrow. My name is Joseph. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.